feel so bad. I'm gonna get better. Annyeong. Annyeong. Well, based off of the poor salutation I just gave, you probably already know that I am headed to South Korea. Before we get started, I just want to tell you thank you guys for coming to this channel, and if you haven't already done so, don't forget to subscribe below because I'll take you on this journey with me to South Korea. So subscribe below so you don't miss a video. Video is all about why I decided to move to South Korea and why you should consider it too. Okay, so I'm not going to tell you that you have to go to South Korea, but I will say that if you have the opportunity to live abroad, now is the perfect time for you to do so. Why am I going to South Korea? That is the question. Well, I'll tell you. So it all started last year when I took a trip to Bali, Indonesia. I went alone, or I signed up to go on a trip alone, but I met a group of people that I didn't know there in Bali. Turns out the people that were there, they were originally from my hometown Memphis or Louisiana or Texas, and most of the people that were there, they were currently working overseas. Now, this group of people, they were working in places like Saudi Arabia, I believe, Kuwait, Abu Dhabi, so the Middle East. And they just really inspired me to consider looking outside of the normal jobs here in America to look for a job. Now, granted, the people that were there, they were all educators, and you will find if you ever look for jobs overseas, it's very common for teachers to go overseas to teach English in other countries. So those jobs are very plentiful. And I'm sorry guys, it's raining or it's storming here, so you may hear some thundering. So anyway, I was in Bali and I just graduated from grad school in May, and Bali was in July, but I had a really rough couple of months leading up to that trip. I even considered not going, but that's a whole different video. So I go to Bali, I meet these group of people, and they all range from, you know, early mid-30s to older, and they just inspire me because, one, they get, for what I seen before I actually made it to Bali and got to know them personally, what I saw on social media is that they literally were traveling everywhere. It seemed to me every month they were going to a different location, and I'm like, how are they doing this? How are they doing all this traveling? So that just kind of piqued my interest. And so when I got a chance to meet them in person, I asked them. Well, the thing is, when you move overseas and you get paid your salary, I learned that, one, you don't have to pay taxes. You don't have to pay federal taxes. So the salary that you're presented, you receive that entire amount. Unlike when you are in America and you actually, for example, you get a salary of $50,000. After taxes, you may only receive, I don't know, 30,000. I really don't know the math, but you may really only get 30,000 of that money. And then if you have to pay taxes back, especially if you're like me, I'm single with no children, you end up have to still pay taxes. That's a big chunk of your salary. So the biggest thing for me is that, you know, the money is tax-free. So you really get to see all the money that you make. And everybody that I know overseas, whether they are bloggers or people that I know personally, everyone that I know that's working overseas now, I've learned that they were really just able to pay off all of their debt. I remember there was a blog that I saw on Facebook. It was floating around Facebook where there's this lady who paid off all of her debt in less than 3 years. She paid off her car notes, she paid off her student loans, she paid off her mortgage, she paid off credit card debt, she was able to save, and then she was able to quit her job and she was able to travel. And so she started to work for herself, and all of that was because she just decided to work overseas. And that really inspired me. That was about 2 years ago I saw that blog, and it really inspired me because I'm like, honestly, if I'm here, what is the likelihood of me being able to pay off all of my debt in less than 3 years? Because if I get a job as a newly licensed social worker, not clinically licensed, my salary is not going to be the same as if somebody who's been in the field for 15 years and they are clinically licensed. So let's just say I get a salary of $50,000 and then I only receive $30,000 of that, and then from there I still have to pay taxes on that, and then I have to pay a car note, I have to pay rent, I have to pay off student loans, I have to pay for car insurance and every other expense. It literally feels like I wouldn't be able to dig myself out of the hole. So I really started then to just explore the option of being able to move overseas. So that was really what inspired me to actually go overseas. Now there are some very good benefits as to why I think it's a good idea to move. So let's get started. Benefit number one, I've already mentioned it, financial. There's so many people who get to move overseas, pay off all their debt, just simply because the cost of living is extremely cheap in Asian countries. Now, depending on what agency you work for, you can have your housing paid, you can have your health insurance fully covered where you don't have to pay anything. So those are a lot of perks. So benefit number two. Okay, so I like to travel, and there are some places that I would love to go to that those plane tickets are so expensive. So I've noticed that the people who are American expats who live overseas, they travel so much more because it's so much cheaper to travel from Asian countries to everywhere else. So of course, once I get to Korea, how accessible it would be for me to travel to countries that I've been planning to go to, but it's been too expensive. It could maybe cost me $200 to take a trip to the Philippines or Thailand, or I don't know, anywhere. The options are unlimited. So that's the second benefit, is the fact that not only do you get to save money from your job and from your cost of living, but you also get to save money while traveling because it's super cheap to travel while you're living in an Asian country. So benefit number three is the fact that I don't have any obligations. I'm not married, I don't have children. Why not do it? There is nothing holding me back from taking this opportunity, but the only thing that's holding me back would be myself. And yes, I'm very fearful. Yes, I have some, let me take that back. I'm not fearful anymore. I was afraid in the beginning, but I've learned so much. I've done so much research. I have began to reach out to people, network with people, and I feel very comfortable now. It's kind of scary to get up and go to a completely new country, but I am ready for the challenge, and I'm not the only person who's done it, and I won't be the last, so why not take this opportunity? So yeah, I believe if you don't have the obligations, if you are looking to try something new, if you are open to adventure, if you're open to just taking that chance, then definitely try to find a job overseas. You never know where it will lead you in the future. So I'm excited to see where my future goes and to dive into this Korean culture. South Korea, not North Korea. People have been thinking I'm going to North Korea. No, I'm going to Daegu, South Korea, which is about, I believe, 2.5 hours, 3 hours from Seoul. That's all I have for you. If you have any questions about how I found my job, or any questions about Korea, or any questions that I could possibly help you with, don't forget to comment below and share this video. And that's all I have. So bye. Annyeong. That's still so bad. I'm gonna get better. Annyeong.